No, because the only thing that I will say is that sometimes it gets a little too demonic for me, and I don't really be feeling it when it gets a little bit too demonic. But that's for another story. What is up, everybody? I hope you guys are doing 100% absolutely perfecto. If you read the title of the video, which of course you did, or you would not be here unless YouTube suggested this video to you, which in that case you should definitely keep watching because we're going to talk about some pretty cool stuff. So we are still going to be talking about film and TV and all that good stuff, but I want to switch it up just a little bit and talk about one of my favorite TV shows on right now. So, American Horror Stories. Now, if you're like me, you've been following American Horror Story, baby, since Murder House, since the very first season came out, and you have loved it. You have followed the characters. I mean, you are a die-hard fan. There's only one season of American Horror Story that I haven't watched, and that is the Apocalypse, and that's because they were doing a little bit too much with the cutting and the blood and demonic. It was a little bit too much. You know, my spirit couldn't take all that. No tea, no shade. But American Horror Stories, I love this series. First of all, because I feel like American Horror Story did a great thing with taking the horror for television and turning it into like an anthology type of thing. I thought that was really cool in a way to kind of sway away from what they were regularly doing, but also keeping the same vibes for the people, you know what I'm saying, who have been following forever, because we still have some amazing people from the seasons in American Horror Stories. Now, the first season of American Horror Stories, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I wasn't feeling it. As a matter of fact, I have all of the episodes from season 1 right here, and let me tell you, I was like, what the freak? There was Rubber Woman Part 1 and Rubber Woman Part 2. I won't lie to y'all, I did not watch those two. I watched like the first 20 minutes of Rubber Woman Part 1 and I was like, this is not for me. Drive-In, that one was pretty cool. Drive-In was about, you know, there was a film and it made everybody go crazy, loopy, woody, 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 woo. That was pretty good. The Naughty List, I liked that one. It was about this group of boys who basically, they were trying to be YouTubers, influencers, and they get killed because they were trying to take it too far. Yeah, pretty much like today's world. I don't want to say his name, but it's a demon's name. Basically, this girl got pregnant by a demon. And yeah, it was a nice twist. It had the same girl from a lot of the other seasons, and I really, really like that because I really like her as an actor. I feel like I'm talking really fast. If y'all are not catching up or keeping up, let me know. I'm saying let me know like I'm on live. Feral, I really liked that one. That one was pretty clever. And Game Over. Now, what I really liked about Game Over was that it brought all of the American Horror Story people like together. So I really like that. But I was like, this is okay. Like, this isn't, I've seen better. You know, I've seen more from the writers of American Horror Story. I've seen, where's Miss Angela Bassett? Okay, where's Gabourey? Where are the people that I know and love? But baby, season 2, they did what needed to be done. Dollhouse, which was weird but good. Aura, which had my girl in it, you know what I'm saying? It was great. Drive was really good. I really like that. It has Bella Thorne in it. Milkmaids, which was, now I'm gonna be honest with y'all, Milkmaids was very disgusting. If you don't have a high tolerance for like nasty looking stuff, like holes in bodily fluids, I would say don't watch the episode. It was really nasty. And I feel like the only reason I was able to get through without throwing up is because I was working as I was watching it, so I wasn't really paying attention. But it's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. And now, the episode that I really, really, really want to talk about with y'all today, the last episode from last week, Bloody Freaking Mary. I loved this episode. I am not going to say that name again because I don't play that. I don't do that. But let me tell y'all why I love this. So, if you're like me, you watch scary movies, you're a scary movie buff, you like scary stories, something about your heart going pitter-patter from a scary movie just really brings it all together. It brings your life together, right? So when I saw this name, I'm like, oh gosh, it's gonna be the same old, little white girls about to get, you know, messed up, and then she comes back, she's killing everybody, woody, 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 woo. Baby, I should have known American Horror Story was going to do something different when I clicked on the little thing and it was 4 black girls. 4 black girls. I have never in my life, and I watch scary movies for a living, I've never in my life seen this story told from the perspective of not only black women, but a black backstory to what happened to her. Now, I don't want to go too much into detail because I really do want y'all to go watch this episode for yourself, because I would really love if they turned these other urban legends and what we usually see as this whole whitewashed story of something that happened to a white girl or a white boy, and now they're just killing people to kill people. I would really like to see that turn in bringing in other cultures, because I feel like just like in every other thing and every other genre, there needs to be representation in horror too. And not just the representation that there's a black person in the film or in the TV show and they die within the first 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Or we see a black person and we're like, oh, they're going to be the first one to die. You know, I feel like Hollywood still has not reached that level of decorum where they put a black person in a horror film and they're not just a token black person, or they're not just a, you know, you get what I'm saying? But yeah, anyways, this episode. So basically it's 4 little black girls and they play the game. They say that girl's name, which I'm not gonna say it again. And they see her, and the black woman behind the scene, first of all, she's the black woman from Pose. Let me see, what is her name? Hold on. I gotta get her name for y'all. Dominique Jackson. Dominique Jackson is the one who actually plays BM. I'm gonna just say BM, Baby Mama. She's the one who plays her. So they ask her, you know, they play this little game, come find me or whatever. And she's supposedly supposed to be able to see what you really want. And so she tells you, you know, this is what you really want. This is what you have to do in order to get that. And of course, she tells them to do something that's out of pocket. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to hurt this person, or, you know, do this thing. So we go through the whole episode and they're trying to figure out, you know, how can we beat this girl? How can we, like, what's going on? What's the tea? Girl, I'm not going to go into detail about what happens, but it's a trip. But basically the backstory of BM in this story was that, oh, I don't want to say too much, y'all. I really don't want to say too much. But basically a black woman was taking revenge on a white woman for stuff that she did during slavery times. We here. Put 2 and 2 together. We here? We here? Okay. So basically that is the story of BM in this episode. And I really, really like it because you can tell that the writers in the writer's room weren't just like, okay, let's make a black episode. They really took the time to not just make it to where we see black people, but it's an actual story. And I love TV shows and movies where they are determined to show us diversity, and they're determined to show us new and different ethnicities and backgrounds and stuff like that. But it's not about that. Like, it's not about the person being black. It's not about the person being, you know, Hispanic. It's not about the person being Latino or whatever the case may be. And I felt like they did a really good job of that in this episode of American Horror Story. This episode compared to the rest of the episodes was definitely a 10. I would say out of this season, I would say for me it goes, let me look at them again. For this season, it goes BM is number 1, Drive is number 2, Aura is number 3, then Dollhouse, then Milkmaids. So if you're thinking about watching American Horror Stories, that's like my rating of how I think they should go. But I'm not going to show you guys any clips of this episode, because what I really want to do is I really just want to get you hyped to go and watch it. Because the higher the ratings are for a certain episode, the more likely they are to write more episodes like this, okay? I need y'all to understand. And if the more that we want films and televisions like this, the more likely they are to hire writers to be in the writer's room, because don't always know the experience. You get what I'm saying? Do you get what I'm saying? So go watch it. It's a great, great, great show. It's really cute. Oh, and I also meant to say, let me, because I don't want to get her name wrong. I do not want to get her name wrong. Let me see. Hold on. Don't leave me. 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 I just have to find her name. I know her name, but I want to make sure that I say it right. Because this little girl deserves all the clout, all the slay. She's already made a name for herself. And she was like, Quavajane Wallace. Do y'all know she won a Tony when she was like 5? When she was like 5. Y'all better go support this episode, okay? Little black girls winning Tonys. And now there's a possibility that 4 little black girls plus a black woman can win an Emmy for this episode. I mean, y'all don't go on Hulu right now and turn it on. I'll see y'all next time. Bye.